Hello, hi there Aries, hope that you're lovely and well, and welcome to my channel. Most people know me as Bella the Secret Psychic, and this is your for the month of October 2019. And if you watch me for the first time, I'm a psychic reader, so I interpret the information I get from spirit to help you navigate through this month. I don't use cards, basically, and you know I don't like to waste time, but if you do like to know more about my services, the links are just down below. So let's crack on. So I've been this time, I don't usually group when I do my readings one by one. I don't usually group them by their elements, but I have this time, and I think it's been useful because I've been seeing a common thread. So when I did Sagittarius's and when I did Leo's, there were two separate. So Sagittarius's was more about distance and strength and anxiety, and then Leo's was more about formalities and legal stuff. Yours is a weird combination of both, and the story that my guides are giving me to slightly help generalize this, because this is a general reading, is one that happened to one of my friends actually many years ago in their first marriage. And what kind of happened, Aries, was when they got married to their first husband, the night, you know, that you would, you know, it would be a great night to have, you know, would you consummate the marriage? That never happened. But also they suddenly cut off communication. They went very cold. They were on their phone all the time, and she felt off. She felt like something was off. She felt like something was weird. And I tell you that story not because of the off part, because the off part is important, but because it was just after something where it should be the most happiest time. So what I want to say to you in this month, Aries, is that there is a situation that definitely happens probably the end of this month, first week. So this month, because I'm filming this in September, but the end of September, but definitely in the first week of October, where you're just like, the first week you've had a great time, you've either just got engaged, you've just got married, you know, you've just maybe, you know, let me simplify this a bit more, you've just become exclusive with somebody in a relationship. There's something really positive that has happened. And I also get that a lot of you would have had a celebration about it, you know, so maybe you won a car, I don't know, like something positive has happened with you and your significant heart's desire. And your first week is great. And then, like, again, you could find out you're having a baby. It could be all sorts of things. But then the second week is just like that story I just told you, just then. Something goes from wonderful, happy, great, super, my relationship is great, to something feels off. And the reason why I say it's a combination of the other two readings that I gave for the other two elements in your sign was because some of it comes because of this emotional distance. Some of it becomes because that person actually then disappears, goes AWOL or missing in action. But something is off, and distance is created, whether it's emotional distance that could be present with you every day, but they're emotionally distant, or they suddenly do a disappearing act. Now that seems to harp more for people who are like maybe just become exclusive with somebody, or again, you could just be dating. This person's making you promises in the first week, you get to the second week and bam, where did Mr. Wonderful go with all these promises? It could be big or small. But in the second week, it's off, and it's a sudden off. It's like you could have the best date of your life, or you've just got engaged the next day, or even, unfortunately, like my friend, got married, which I have to say, by the way, she's no longer with that dude. But something becomes off, and it stresses you out, because what I get mostly is this lack of communication from this other person that's leaving you with unanswered questions as to what's going on, why they're being funny, why they're being weird, why they disappeared. And it will, just similar to when I did Sagittarius's reading, bring up this kind of panic, this kind of, oh my God, can I trust this situation? Can I trust that what's happened that was good was actually good? Like it I think is so unnerving, because it feels night and day, and this person's not explaining themselves to you, which I think is really poor form, as we say in Britain. Like, it's not good, but I'm not gonna lie, guys, you need to be prepared that in the second week thereabouts you are disturbed emotionally because of a lack of information. I think the things that we all hate as people is if we don't have clarity or information so that we can make sense of a situation, and this person isn't. Even if they are present in your life still and they haven't gone missing in action, they could be saying no, everything is fine, but saying it in a way that it's not fine. Do you know what I mean? Trying to see the point of where this gets to, because what my guides are saying here, it's with the story that I told. The long story short about it, my friend later on found out that her husband was actually having an affair with somebody the entire time before and after they got married, and that's why he had changed, because I think he suddenly probably realised he shouldn't have done, he shouldn't have got married. And there is an element of perhaps what they've promised was maybe too soon for them. I do get, for some of you in the third week, what I get is, and this is where the formal stuff comes out, it's almost like renegotiating the terms of whatever you agreed in the first week that seems so happy will get changed. Now, again, because I have to be broad with this could be something that could just be resolved in the relationship that you're in and doesn't have to feel that bad. And for a large proportion of you, I think it will be resolvable. So it could be as simple as, I said that I would take you to Paris and I can't afford it. And I need to renegotiate that with you because perhaps I can only take you to the water park down the road. Okay? That's not a complete deal breaker. It's upsetting, and it might explain why that person suddenly became, distant, because they're panicking and they're thinking, oh my God, maybe I should, remove myself because I'm going to be a letdown, because people will think all sorts of things. But it could also be, I'm not going to lie, guys, it could also be as extreme as, I've just married you and actually I don't think I should have. Or I desired you to marry you, or I agreed to marrying you, and now I've changed my mind. You need to be prepared, because it does depend on the level of, whatever made you excited and happy and feeling loved up was to the level of damage afterwards. It's definitely proportionate. And so for maybe a third of you may not survive this connection with that person because of the damage. It's would have to look into future months. It could also be that it's a temporary damage because it's an embarrassment maybe for you. Maybe at an engagement party only then to find out a week later that they've called it off. That's embarrassing. And you would be in your rights to say, I don't want to see you for a while. Awkward. Like, it's an awkward situation. Like I said, for a large portion of you, I think it will be resolvable, but some of you, it could be permanent damage. You need to be prepared for that. But I do get in the third week, you're going to be kind of negotiating, talking about, trying to fix, trying to communicate and understand, and you will understand in the third week. So unfortunately, you've got that 1 week of what the heck is wrong. I think maybe to handle it better, if you know from this video that in the third week you do get to at least talk about it, and also I've given you an indication in terms of whatever was promised, it's going to be taken back, you can prepare for the worst in advance, so that you go into negotiations all guns blazing and knowing what you want to say. Does that make sense? Because you're forewarned and forearmed. Like I said, because I want to leave this on a positive note, I think that for most of you, you will be able to resolve the differences or what was overpromised. You will be able to come to another agreement. So again, if that person said to you about the whole going to Paris thing, and now they can only take you to the theme park, and you're like, I don't like theme parks, I want to go to, a spa. Like you compromise somewhere that seems to meet both needs. let me ramp that up a little bit. Maybe that person said to you, I'm ready to be exclusive. I want you to be my girlfriend, not my boyfriend. And then they said, actually, I don't think I'm ready. You might say to them, well, why don't you take a break? Come back to me in a couple of weeks if you do feel that way. Or you could be like, okay, well, that's fine. We'll just remain casual, date. Like, it's going to be up to you and your personal circumstances. So it does feel like you can compromise with the person if you want to. Okay, so anyway, I hope that's been helpful, everybody. I'll be back next month. Again, if you'd like to know more about me or have a private reading with me, the links are just down below. And you all have an amazing month.